everybody, it's Dana Brigman. We're going to go live here with a little discussion about essential oils for our children. Bear with me just a second. I am also going to be recording this in a different format so that I can save better quality copies out on my website, my YouTube channel, that sort of thing, and also share the PowerPoint presentation. So that'll be available to you guys after. I haven't yet mastered, Facebook Live doesn't let me share my screen. There's some tools that do that, but then it's not Facebook Live. So my apologies as I sort out technology and trying to get all of this done to the best of my ability. So tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about how oils can be used for our children. And I am flipping screens to a PowerPoint presentation and we will get started. I don't know that, I'm hoping over time that I will have more of a following. This is somewhat new to me. I have been using essential oils for several years, but actually doing the sharing of knowledge and information has really only been something that I've been involved in since about January, and my research and study and interest in this keeps growing and becoming more and more fascinated by it all. So as we talk about the things for children, I'll preface this by saying I do not have a kid. I don't have toddlers, children, infants, or otherwise. Mine are all four-legged furry creatures. But if this is an area of interest to you, there are a number of moms that I am on the team with, and they have some very solid, good information, lots of science even, and research materials that we can get you involved in those groups and let you start your research and your knowledge and your experience with the oils. Clearly, we know moms like to share information. They are the best experts for their babies and their children, and these women, and frankly a lot of men, are willing to share their experiences with others quite easily. So if you have questions, we can get you into the right audiences to participate. So as we think about beginning with essential oils, I'm going on the premise that you all at least know a little bit about what they are. If you don't, on my website, essentialbeliever.com, I have just started a new menu item called Presentations, and there you will find information about my start, the importance of quality oils, and why Young Living is the choice that I have made for essential oils. You will find what they really are, how they benefit us, and get a little more of that pre-information as you start moving into using them for yourself and your family. So as we think about using essential oils for our children, some of the things that you want to keep in mind are some safety guidelines. Certainly if you have a newborn, you do not probably want to be introducing a lot of essential oils to them. As they become more mature infants, and certainly as they move into toddler phase, there are things that you can start to do to incorporate oils as safely as possible to your children. Generally speaking, for infants, it's not recommended that they use ingested oils, meaning we don't take them internally. Though some people have done their research and made some decisions to do so. That's why being a part of some of these other groups might be helpful to you. Some of the best ways to start introducing your child to the oils is to potentially diffuse them, to dilute them, and I'll show you in a minute some of the dilution ratios that you should be looking at, or even to put essential oils on you and then interact with your baby, where they're sort of getting these oils secondhand from you and really starting a very slow introduction. When you do start trying to apply an oil topically to a young baby, you want to dilute it. You want to make sure there is a carrier oil and potentially start with their feet as the introduction point. Then as you progress, you may want to use it on one little tiny spot, to make sure there's not going to be some reaction. And if there is no reaction within a few minutes, generally that oil should be safe. It's not advised to put them in the bath water with your baby. We, as adult women, often like to put them in the shower with us, for example, or even lavender to soak in, or some of the others to the bath water for us. But we don't recommend that for young babies, because when they splash, it could be something that becomes in their eyes or in their mouth, and we may not be at a point where they are ready for that ingestible phase. Okay, we talked about us wearing them. I know some women, for example, that also you can buy little diffuser necklaces or diffuser bracelets, for example, where the oils are on those, and as you move your hands or you move your body, the oils are aromatically introduced into the air, and that's a way perhaps to present them to your children as well. When we talk about dilution of an oil, it just means the ratio of the actual oil itself to the carrier oil. Carrier oils can be things like coconut oil, olive oil, V6 oil that comes in some of the kits. If we are looking at an infant that is not yet a year old, you want 1 drop of oil to 8 drops of the dilution product. 2 to 6, we generally go to about a 1/4 ratio. When they are between 7 and 12, it may be half and half. And then as they become 12 and older, generally speaking, they are on the same presentation of oil volume that an adult would be, unless you have a child that's like super sensitive to something. And you'll, again, when you start introducing an oil to anybody, we're going to start slowly and make sure that we're introducing those things effectively. We always want to introduce the oils in a slow fashion. So again, a little education about the carrier oils. It helps slow down the absorption rate. So if I put a drop of essential oil directly on my body, you'll find that these oils are not oily at all. It's not like baby oil or some of those things that you put on your skin and it leaves you sort of slick. These oils are absorbed into the body very, very quickly. When you add a carrier oil, basically the carrier oil molecules are bigger than the essential oil molecules. And so your skin has to sort of toggle between which one can it absorb at any given time. And so that slows down the absorption of the actual essential oil. So many mothers, and frankly for adults as well, and sometimes for our dogs, the feet is the best place to begin the application of an essential oil. I'm going to post a chart in the event for this that shows you a little kid's foot and where on his feet each of the reflex points or the areas that would be affected in the body as you apply them. So for example, if you look at the ball of the foot, that's generally speaking the lungs of the child. If you look at sort of the next place down, we're in the abdomen area. And then down at the heel would be in the pelvis. And then the toes, each of them represents some part of the child's body. So I'm going to send that to you rather than me just trying to describe that. When you think about doing a diffusion of essential oil, so that's where you have the diffusers that have water in them and it sort of aromatically puts this mist out into the air, you could make sure that you're just applying less oil into that diffuser than would traditionally be called for if you're using it in a kid's room. There are a few oils that is suggested not to use with infants or very young babies, just because some of them are considered stronger than others. This is always a personal thing for you guys to go do your research. Make sure before you apply any oil or decide on any course of action that is part of your wellness journey that you've done your research. Clearly, I am not a physician. I'm not an aromatherapist. I am learning a significant amount of knowledge about these oils and the benefits and how they affect the systems of our body. But no one can do research in the way that you can. Again, we can talk to moms about kids. We can talk to pet parents and trainers about dogs and so on. But at the end of the day, we all come to our own conclusions and make our own way. But some of the suggested ones not to use with infants, little babies, is Idaho tansy, hyssop, sage, clary sage, wintergreen, and eucalyptus. That then also means that some of these blends that contain these oils you would want to avoid. And I'll give you an example. RC that comes in the diffuser kit is generally not one you want to diffuse or use on an infant. And it contains eucalyptus. So does a blend called Raven. And so those oils you would want to look for other options. There is a children's line, even a little product called Sniffles that could be beneficial, that's less strong in many ways than the original oils that we as adults would use. If we look at the starter kit, the starter kit generally has 12 bottles of oil in it. As we move into using for our children, there was a poll of about 800 moms that asked which oils are your everyday go-tos. What do you think every mom should have sort of in their bag of tricks as far as essential oil comes from? 8 of the ones the mom chose are in the starter kit. So the first is lavender. It is very calming, very soothing, can be beneficial to help the children go to sleep and sleep through the night. It is an oil that can be added to lotion or a carrier oil to soothe the skin. Thieves helps keep our homes smelling fresh, feeling good, and keeping school things that the children are bringing home with them at bay. When we apply a drop or two to our children's feet, we can help support their immunity. The same is true for diffusing those oils into the air. It helps provide an immunity boost. RC shows up for our children, but again, not for those itty-bitty infants. And it really is an oil that is intended to aid in our respiratory support. It stands for respiratory congestion. It is beneficial to apply to the neck, to their chest, to their back, anywhere that contains those congestion into the lungs, and we want to help break that up. Peace and calming. I take that back. Peace and calming does not come in the starter kit. My apologies for that. It too is one of those oils that helps with relaxation and calming. It is one of my personal favorites. I use it in my kennel room for dogs that are here with a lot of anxiety-based issues. And it's one that I enjoy for myself when the effects of the day and the workload and the people that we have to interact with can sometimes add a little drama to our lives. Okay, children, that's enough. Those are my four-legged children trying to play. Purification is an oil that helps eliminate things that are smelly. So it can be beneficial to add into the room to help eliminate odors. It could be added to your laundry, a drop or so into the laundry. I like to put it on dryer balls that I have. Again, I'm trying to be as chemical free as I can, so I now no longer use laundry soap and dryer sheets and that sort of thing, but I have these dryer balls, and I love putting a drop of essential oil on them to freshen my laundry. Frankincense. You've heard this before. If you're following along any of these presentations, frankincense is said to have about 10,000 uses, right? I don't know that I'll ever use it that many times in my in my life. I use it a lot, but when you don't know what else to use, start with frankincense. It is also said to be beneficial to support healthy behaviors and paying attention to the teacher and listening to mom and dad and that sort of thing. It also has some immunity boosting benefits. Stress away, again, another one of my favorites. It is one that can be helpful when things are feeling a little overwhelmed. Similar to peace and calming, but has a different blend of ingredients. And then copaiba. I actually have a blog post out on my website now. I'm starting to do an oil of the week. And copaiba is got a ton of uses as well. One of them is around our skin and the health of our skin. It also has benefits to oral health, and you'll find a lot of uses for copaiba. Okay, as we move into the Kids Sense line, and you can look these up on the Young Living site, it's youngliving.com, or you can start at my site, essentialbeliever.com, to get there. There are a few oils that your children will love, and what I'm hearing from a lot of moms is that they start to let their child identify oils that they can have. They keep them in their bedroom. They may have put a roller ball on them for the ones that they can use as often as they like. And then they have a nighttime routine where they'll let the child make a selection of what they want in their diffuser that night. So they may let them choose peace and calming, or lavender plus cedarwood, or in the kids line there is one called Sleepy Ease. And so when you get your child engaged, then they start to feel like they are part of their wellness plan also. So in this kit, in this kids scent collection, there are a couple of oils that are really interesting, and the names are pretty self-explanatory. There is one called Genius, Owie, Tummy Jize, Sniffle Ease, and Sleepy Eyes. I think I need some of those tonight myself. So Genius is helpful for after-school activities, doing their homework, going to music practice, or those school projects that they need to get done. Owie is one clearly when they have scraped their little skin, their little knees or their palms, and they've got some owies on their body. This oil will help to soothe those things. Tummy Jize is helpful before or after meals. It's one that you would apply directly to the belly to help with some tummy issues your child may be experiencing. Sniffle Ease, just what it says. You can use this blend to create tissues. So you might put it in your box of tissues so that when they pull one out, they're also getting some of the aromatics of this product when they use those tissues. And then certainly to diffuse in their bedrooms when they need them. And then finally, Sleepy Eyes is you could apply to their pillow, little spritz on their pillow, to their pajamas, make it part of the nighttime routine to help them settle down and get prepared for a good night's rest. There are also shampoos and lotions and toothpaste, bath gels, things. There's a Tender Tush ornament, it's called, for the babies that are still in diapers. So these products are a way to give you natural products for your children that are not laced with all the chemicals and whatnot that are often found in shampoos and conditioners and bath products and things of that nature. I know when I was little, I used to love Mr. Bubble, and I wonder now, what was it really made of? There's no telling. They even make little kids diffusers. So there's one that is some dinosaurs, a little, almost like a little volcano looking thing with dinosaurs on it. And then there's another that looks like it might be an underwater scene with whales and starfish and things of that nature that would be an underwater scene. So there are ways in which to get your child things that they will enjoy using. Okay? There are a number of recipes for things like popsicles that can be ways in which to get immunity boosting supplements and immunity boosting products into your child's everyday life. A friend of mine posted on Facebook the other day that she buys the little pouches of Ninja Red, for example, and her children know that they can have 1 or 2 of those per day. And one of her kids wanted another one. He and I've really enjoyed the taste of it, but he was ready for like his 3rd pouch, and she said, "No, we don't need any more of that today." And he got really upset because he couldn't have it because it's something that he loves to drink. So there are recipes in which you can use these products or other oils that help you get them in fun ways for your children. So I'm going to share some of those out on my website as well. I'll give you a couple of examples. One is called the Homework Helper. It's a combination of rosemary, lemon, and cypress. Another is the Back to School Blend. So we all know when kids start back to school, they're bringing home all sorts of things that get everybody in the house a little under the weather. So what I'm hearing is moms are like, let's boost their immunity as we send them back to school. And that can be combinations of thieves, purification, and orange or citrus products, for example. So there are several. I'm looking at 9 different ones. I'm not going to go through them all. I will start to share them out on my website as key posts that will help you guys. And then also out there, you're going to start to see, if you're not yet using essential oils and you're thinking you're ready to get started, there will be information out there to help you do that. And anytime you would like to have a one-on-one consult with me, whether it's just a chat in Facebook or to give me a call, and we can talk more specifically about what your goals for the oils are, and I can guide you to some materials that will help you make decisions about what you need beyond the starter kit. I can't recommend enough that the starter kit is the way to go, in that you will get about a 50% discount on the things that you are buying. It's a predefined kit, but it is about 50% of what it would be at the retail cost. And then you start building your collection for the things that you want to tackle on your wellness journey. And we can talk more about how you would work through the incentive programs if you're interested in that. But again, none of this is necessary per se. You can just be a retail customer. You do not have to be a seller. I think once you get started, you're going to say to friends and family, wow, this is pretty impressive. And when you start doing that, you can receive basically referral points, referral money, so to speak, value that starts helping you earn some free oils and starts paying for the oils that you want in your kit. And I know a ton of people who really are just sharing knowledge, sharing and getting other people involved in such a way that they do it just to cover what they want to buy. And that doesn't, again, that doesn't mean you're selling. That doesn't mean you're running a business. You can be as a one-time purchase, as a retail customer, or just somebody who shares with friends and family and earns some points to do so. So we can talk a lot more about that, and we can talk a lot more about your specific goals. And if you're interested in getting involved in some of these groups, we can show you how to do that as well once you are a member, and then you can start gaining a ton of access to research and knowledge and other people who are working to achieve the same goals as you. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I wish you all a very good evening. Join me back for an upcoming topic, and if there's anything that I can answer, feel free to post below. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you.